Please keep your pen and paper ready. I'm going to give you swift details about this so that you can take a note of this very easily. Quad is a, let's say, Quad was formed in 2007 at the initiation of Shinzo Abe, who is a former Japanese prime minister who has been recently assassinated. And Quad was initially understood as a kind of a maritime partnership between India, USA, Japan, and Australia. Right? Full stop. Second, Quad is not a formally registered multilateral organization. Okay, Quad is not a formally registered multilateral organization. It does not have a charter, comma, it does not have a secretariat or a head office, right? So there is no official version of the Quad. But the Quad is basically not a, the Quad members have not signed a charter, they have not agreed upon anything, right? There is no official explicit agreement upon anything, right? So it is not currently projected as a mutual defense pact, that it is not like a NATO in Asia which is working together against China. It has not given any kind of an official explanation of itself with regard to this kind of an activity. Okay. Third thing that we understand about Quad is that Quad organizes, the only place by which Quad can communicate itself is by the Quad annual summit, right? So you have had 3 Quad annual summits till now. The first Quad annual summit happened in 2021, which was a virtual summit. Right, the first Quad summit happened in 2021, which was a virtual summit, and the Quad summit is a head of state summit, meaning the leaders of the Quad countries attend the summit. So the first Quad summit was the virtual summit in 2021. The second Quad summit was the Quad summit of Tokyo. This was a very important Quad summit in 2022 in Tokyo. And third Quad summit happened in, again, Japan, Hiroshima. Right, so the first Quad summit was 2021, second was in Tokyo, and third was in Japan, in Hiroshima. And the 2024 Quad summit is going to be organized in India in December in New Delhi. Right, so in December 2024 you will have the fourth Quad summit, and the reason why the Quad can be in news or has been in news recently is that India is going to host the Quad summit in 2024, and it is going to be a point at which the, what you can say, the 4 members, 4 heads of state, right, the Prime Minister of UK and Australia, Prime Minister of Japan and Australia, and the President of USA are going to come to India to participate in the 4th Quad summit. which is going to be held in New Delhi. So that is what makes Quad slightly relevant from the perspective of the prelims questions, right? Now, if you want to take a, like, for example, a little bit of an understanding of what are the objectives of Quad. I'm going to write this down very swiftly, so please be ready. What are the objectives of Quad? If you ask a question like this, let's say, then the answer can be number one, to attain what is known as free and open Indo-Pacific. This is objective number one. Second objective which is given, first objective is free and open Indo-Pacific. Okay. Second objective which is given under the Quad summit joint statements, for example, the Hiroshima, is a rules-based international order. Both of them in a way point at China with regard to the rising aggression of the Chinese in the Indo-Pacific region, and both of these are slightly indicative at the fact that the Quad is fundamentally an anti-China alliance, and it can become a full-blown security alliance in the Indo-Pacific region depending upon the activities and aggressions of the Chinese. So these are the two important elements. Okay. Third thing is a democratic and liberal order in the Indo-Pacific. So it is a coming together of the like-minded democratic countries in the Indo-Pacific. Okay. And then the last thing, or maybe one of those things, is to create cooperation on developing technologies to arrest climate change and telecommunication technologies for 5G and 6G networks, right? Vaccine joint distribution Okay, take a look at these 5 points with regard to the objectives of the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue. These I have taken and in a way very simply crunched them into a kind of a multiple choice format framework from the joint statement of the Quad summits. Okay, so I'm taking a look at what are the objectives of Quad. Now, as you see very simply, that Quad, I'm giving the summary of the Quad as an organization. Summary of the Quad as an organization in a very simple manner so that you can get a kind of a prelims based thing out of it. If Quad becomes an important, now because India is hosting the Quad summit this time, in anticipation UPSC can ask a question on Quad. So I'm trying to give you a summary of Quad, only the kind of information from the Quad which is going to be relevant for you to mark a question in the prelims examination. Okay, so just take a look at this. What are the objectives of Quad? Free and open Indo-Pacific, rules-based international order. Sorry, this is not border, this is order. Rules-based international order, democratic and liberal order in the Indo-Pacific, cooperation on developing technologies to arrest climate change, and telecommunication technology for 5G and 6G networks, and vaccine joint manufacturing, and overall pandemic preparedness program. Because apparently there are still some speculations that the coronavirus was a Chinese developed virus. Right, and these first 2 points hint at these points hint at right, these are the points that I would find are going to be important with regard to the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue. Please pay attention. 2022 summit in Tokyo, 2023 summit in Hiroshima, and 2024 summit is going to be conducted in New Delhi. Okay,